And we're live.
All right, you want to place any UFC bets for the next for the Gaethje Khabib thing?
Danny's in. Let's talk.
All right, look, I used to say Gaethje could win. You've probably heard me do the whole rock paper scissors thing. For people who haven't, I had this idea: Gaethje beats Khabib, Khabib beats Conor, Conor beats Gaethje. That was my rock paper scissors thought. And then I heard Firas, what's his last name? GSP's coach.
Oh, don't ask me.
Danny, do you know GSP's coach, Firas
Zahabi?
Yeah. That's it.
Something. Yeah. Anyway, I heard him talking about it, and he had Khabib, and he kind of won me over to that side. He's like, Gaethje depends too much on the low kick, which is just a takedown on a platter for a guy like Khabib. And then is Gaethje really going to get up from Khabib? No one else seems to. I'm like, man, Khabib's just going to... He's going to accept these free takedowns in the form of low kicks, and then Khabib's going to stay on top and win.
I don't think Gaethje will throw the low kicks until third, fourth round, and I think if Gaethje can catch him, he's going to take him out. I think it's going to depend on what happens when and if Khabib takes him down. If he just goes on his back, tries to go into guard, I think it's it. I think Khabib is just so good at working through that position and solving that Rubik's Cube that is an opponent on their back. He's just going to pinch those legs together, squeeze you up against the cage, climb your body like a fucking rope ladder, and then eventually get you in that position where he gets one of your arms out of your own control and starts smashing you in the side of the fucking head. And then he grinds you like that for the last 3 minutes of the whole fucking round. And it's like, all right, well, there goes a whole round. And then the next round, sure enough, it happens again, and then repeat until the match is over. But if Gaethje can fucking pop back up, I think Gaethje's got a very good chance of catching him. He's got the power. So I would bet Gaethje's. I'll take Gaethje for 5.
I'll take Khabib for 5. All right, that's fun.
All right.
Danny, do you have this talent at all? It seems like if Khabib bear hugs your calves, it's just inevitable he's working his way to full mount. Danny, if I bear hug your calves, you're fine. You're not in any danger at all.
If you bear hug my calves, I'm fine. And I'll even say this: if Khabib bear hugs my calves, I'm fine. My triangle, again, just look up my YouTube highlights. It's ferocious.
How are you gonna
Khabib, Tony Ferguson?
I love that.
See, I hope everyone is now taking the Clydesdale fight talk with a grain of salt now.
Listen, man. I'm 1-0 in professional MMA. Rear naked choke within the first 30 seconds. Saturn is the limit. That is the ceiling on my MMA career had I committed to it. And until I get a time machine and go back and try that alternate lifestyle, I'm not saying a guy like Khabib could beat me. There's no proof.
True. Facts. Hashtag facts.
There's no proof, guy. Why are you looking down and shaking your head? Look up my highlights, dude. My MMA fight, my amateur MMA fight, where I'm wearing headgear and shin pads and big puffy gloves, is on the internet. The jiu-jitsu videos where I'm aggressively pulling guard, sweeping and triangling men, you can see that too.
Aggressively pulling guard. Many UFC fighters do that.
And if I were going to fight Khabib, I would insist I fight him in June, which is a month after Ramadan, I think. He would be weak, malnourished, and I would prevail.
They eat at night. The whole Ramadan thing is such bullshit anyway. It's like why does he just move his training to? Why doesn't he just go nocturnal? Right? Just eat all you want at night, sleep during the day, train.
I asked. I had a Muslim buddy I worked with at the Win. And I asked him that, and he said it's cheating and it's frowned upon. But everybody in the restaurant would get so pissed that because I don't know why, there were 3 Muslim people we worked with in our restaurant, and they always went down and took a 30-minute lunch break in the height of service during Ramadan, because of course in the summer the sun sets at about 9 p.m., which is when we're absolutely slammed in Vegas. So there was a lot of Islamophobia going on in the restaurant based on their Ramadan eating habits.
Also, Conor Poirier, January 21st. Conor's opened up at a pretty significant favorite.
I got Poirier.
Yeah, I got Poirier too. Conor hasn't done anything in 4 years. He's fit somehow, so he must be training. He has abs and shit. Is he just built like that without working? But
he continuously trains.
He says that, but
I mean, it seems like he's getting dressed to go. I don't think he's getting dressed and sweaty to go on Instagram. Like he's just there constantly training.
So, what fights has he had lately? He fought the Ghost of Cowboy.
Yeah.
And then what?
Ghost of Cowboy.
I mean, to be fair,
Khabib, I guess,
took him
3 years
20
ago?
seconds. It's not like he fought the Ghost of Cowboy and it went to round 3.
Danny Mullen can beat the Ghost of Cowboy. Back me up, Danny.
I could beat Prime Cowboy. So yeah, I can beat the Ghost as well. Kyle, look me in the eye, dude. You really don't think I could take on these guys? What about your boy Tony Ferguson? You really clammed up when I was talking about him last episode. He's finished. He's lost his marbles after that Gaethje left hook.
He cut weight twice in a row for, because he's insane. I think when he hasn't depleted himself twice in like a 15-day period, he's still one of the best in the world.
Tony Ferguson, if you're listening, or some of the fans can tweet at him, I will meet you on Venice Beach, and I will give you a swirly in the Pacific Ocean, motherfucker.
We should continue calling out Wes Watson while we're at this sort of nonsense.
Who's Wes Watson?
Wes Watson is this guy who does. He's an ex-con. He did like 9 or 10 years in prison, and now he's gotten out. He does motivational speaking, and he's fucking enormous. Like he's like super jacked. And one of a guy we know made a video talking about whether or not he's natural or not, whether or not he's on steroids or not. And the conclusion was like, yeah, of course he's on steroids. He's enormous. You can't be like this if you're not on steroids. Like you just can't make this kind of progression in this period of time without being on something. Yeah. And I just made a point of like calling him a pussy. Shit about him
he was a shot caller at a prison, and he's like, if you see him, he's obviously juiced. Like Kyle said, you can't make that progress in that amount of time. No, I don't think it's as an attainable body type for hardly any humans could look like this person.
Yeah,
without steroids.
Yeah, here. Let me show you how vascular this guy is.
In a Russian
it's terrifying.
Accent, Kyle,
let me see this fucker.
Yeah, I'm leaking it quickly.
That's not even pleasant to look at.
It's not pleasant to look at, is it?
Hideous, yeah.
That's why I brought it up. I was like, he's gross looking. He's gross looking. Like this guy needs to gain some fucking fat to cover up those nasty fucking veins. Look at those squiggly lines between his pecs on his delts.
He would look a little better with more fat.
And he's spent the last decade in a tanning bed, it appears. His skin's leathery with those ropes and that shitty tattoo he's got across his pectorals. It's all awful.
Those are prison tattoos, though. I think those are high prestige tattoos in certain climates. Like
in prison?
Yes. Yeah. If he were to go back into prison, they would see this dude and be like, oh, those tats are telling me a story of badassery.
Are you just assuming that, or is that actually true? Because I'm curious what you have to do in prison to earn a tattoo that's high prestige.
I forget the details, but they
he was a shot caller.
He was a shot caller, different club memberships, and they the work that he's put in. There are prison tattoos that you are earned. You're looking at a high level ranked up prison RPG character.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you're. Yes,
a good way to think about it.
This is the Grand Mage of Whiterun you're looking at. All right, okay. He's got all of his smithing under his belt. He's the leader of the Fighters Guild, the Thieves Guild, all that stuff. Yeah,
okay, yeah. I'll add him to the pile of men and animals. I'll beat the shit out of him. Fuck this guy.
You might beat him, especially in the
absolutely.
octagon.
I would absolutely beat this guy.
Who are you people?
I'm a purple belt.
You're not a Jedi.
No, but
all I have to do is get inside, get around his waist, take him to the ground, and reduce his consciousness. It's gone.
But it's the environment, right? Like, for example, Wes has fought on concrete floors a lot. And I just watched your game for 30 seconds, so I'm an expert on it. I don't think you like concrete very much. Like, just push that head. Go ahead.
I pulled guard against a bouncer and swept him off my back. And stay, Kyle. No. Mic back on. Headphones.
I feel
Kyle's gonna be
the most nonsense I've heard in a long time.
College.
I wish that Boogie were here so he could one up your badassery.
Boogie was on our show.
away.
Oh yeah, I don't even have to throw down anymore. They just take a look.
Listen,
Boogie, if this clip makes
Kyle.
it to you, you were silly with that story of intimidating men.
we like you, Boogie. Well, more or less, but you know, that was just silly. You know,
Dude,
I'm glad you didn't
guys
murder that man. Also, kudos.
You guys really think that because this guy's got some tattoos and gave 30 prison blowjobs to achieve his current status, he could beat me? Get those headphones on.
No,
Put those headphones. Get back here.
Danny, I was
bullshit.
never
Where's
as
Taylor?
good as you are, but I did have a fucking. People would come in and they're what I called perfect specimens, right? And imagine if an alien race wanted to go down and select a perfect male form. They look like that.
Yeah.
And but
you.
if they're new to jits, you know, they're toys that you have to take, you know, that you can do whatever you want with.
It's annoying. I know what you're talking about. A guy walks in. He was a former D tackle for a college football team. He's just a superior athlete all around. And he's a white belt and he's a bitch to deal with. If it's life or death, even if it's one of those types, he has no way of killing me if my jiu-jitsu is good. I'm going to stay tight to him. I can be on my back, him on top of me, trying to elbow and throw punches. Eventually, he will tire. I might lose half a pint of blood getting torn up and bleeding from the asphalt. Eventually, I'm going to get on his back. I'm going to get a triangle. I'm going to get a choke, and he's done.
Jesus Christ, we're on this again?
Yeah. Danny, you went a little bigger than I did. I'm not talking about some college D tackle, but just like I don't know, like picture Taylor with 18 or 16% body fat. Like that guy walks in and you're like, oh, fuck. And then
He's going down.
he really will.
I don't know what I'm
if
doing.
He's new. Yeah. And then even if he gets a superior position just through I don't know, enthusiastic freaking out, he doesn't have any offense. You just sort of let that go for 40 seconds and then work your offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And cheers, Taylor, by the way, Poirier. I'm
Cheers.
A brand loyalist.
Got the lime kind.
I was the guy at the gym where they made me take on any guy who came in from another school who was a higher belt. I had to fight him. Our instructor, who's just a caricature of a hyper-masculine Brazilian asshole. He had a pit bull. He only listened to deep house music. He cheated on all of his wives. He's been married like 3 times. Yeah, he's just a fucking kid. But he was
Future president.
They called me Giraffe. Oh, Paul Giraffe. Tighten the belt, bro. Apply some mesh. He coming from a different school. He know have a respect, bro. Go kill. Make it kill. So I'm fucking used to this shit. Khabib, Ferguson, Clydesdale, ex-prison homo. Bring him on.
Were you the toughest guy at your school, you think?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was not. No.
Fuck yeah.
There was a guy at my school. He was very... everything he did was deliberate, and it was like he would just improve his position on me an inch at a time, and it was always improving, never getting worse, and sometimes I'd even see his plan, but I was powerless to take any other path, and I fuck.
This is the way of a master jiu-jitsu player.
Yeah, he was just. Still, and he's like, I was talking to him like I'm getting advice, and he's like, man, this is what I do, you know, like I make sure they never choke me because my strength comes from being able to breathe, and I make sure they never do something else, and I'm like, oh, okay, right, just make sure that everything I want to happen
in the head.
Yeah,
most of my strength comes from being able to think about it.
Yeah, he was like. I don't know. It's like always have superior position and never let them sink a choke and it's like, well, yeah, that's my plan too. I want to know how you accomplish it.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of on the Water Boy when Bobby Boucher is doing so well that he's being interviewed by like ESPN or something he's at a top tier youth football camp where they train like up and coming like high school players, and he's like, today we got a real athlete. We've got Bobby Boucher leading the SEC in sacks. Now, Bobby, how do you get yourself into positions that you've always find yourself in so you can get the quarterback, take him out? He's like, yes. First, the center has the ball, and then he pushed the ball into the hands of the quarterback, at which time I begin tackling him unless he pushed the ball into the hands of another player, in which In which case, I try to tackle that player.
That was really good. That was really good.
That was
the coach is
impressive.
like, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Good joke.
I
Wes
haven't watched that movie in
Watson
so long.
is still eye-fucking me on my computer.
Bobby, you ain't a man at all.
Yeah, but Kyle raises a good point, Woody. You're saying that guy was telling you his strategy is to never let the opponent sink in and choke?
Yeah.
Or they're like alternative jiu-jitsu guys who thrive on getting choked in competition?
That's, but it was like, yeah, because as long as I have my airway, I have my power, like his strength.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah,
Your
but
consciousness too.
I know he didn't give me anything helpful. But
No, of course not. It's like today we're interviewing Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive. Usain, how do you do it? You've got 4 world records, 8 gold medals. What's the difference maker for someone like you? Yes, I run very fast. And one foot in front of the other, as fast as I can.
never same foot twice.
Never same foot twice. This dude,
That was my best accent I've ever done. I
That
want
was the best one of all time. Yeah.
I had a new record.
a new record. When you notice that the opponent is taking ahead of you, you must run even faster than he has begun to run.
Bingo.
That is the crux of the sport.
Don't you hate that when you see someone who's like really good at something and you aspire to be that good and you're just like, hey man, how do you do it? Tell me your secret. And they have no fucking idea. They have no fucking idea. Like they're
Yeah,
just
how
good.
do you run like that? I just do it.
They're just fucking good. Like they have no ideas. You're like, if I could run as fast as you, I would know how I'm doing it. Like you
Right.
asshole.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, running's just pure genetic. It pisses me off when there are hundreds of thousands of women on the Instagram right now on the internet getting rich off teaching girls how to get a big ass, which more so even than running is just completely fucking genetic, I think, personally. That's in the same vein as
You can do, squats obviously help. Like,
Do they
like,
make a difference though? Like I
they
feel
make
like
I
a
don't
big
think
noticeable
so.
difference. There's a subreddit where they show like ass gains, and you can see like 6 month before and afters, and it's literally like a big deal. Like I'm not talking about you become like you need a new pair of pants, but it's like, oh,
is it strong curves?
that's so much bigger and firmer. Like it's noticeably better.
I squat once a week and my ass is so Irish and skinny and flat and disgusting, and it hasn't changed at all since I've been squatting.
I
lately.
thought I had it every so often. Like I have in my head like what my ass probably looks like, and then sometimes I see it and I'm like, oh, it was way better in my imagination. I should just not look anymore.
Back to the MMA just a little bit. Israel Adesanya now saying he will not be fighting fighting again this year. He is going to challenge for light heavyweight next year.
What?
Whoa.
Okay, touche. But Dave,
I was doing the Family Guy thing. Yeah.
do you think I can? All right. Taking a step back, I'm speechless on this. I've said many times on the show, with grappling, I feel like I have an understanding for who's high level, who's this and that. Not just who's winning at the grappling, but like what they're doing. I can look at a grappler and say who's good and bad. If I see a medium guy beat a bad guy, I identify him as medium. Striking, I'm not like that. I can just see who's striking better, but I don't really see how Israel is so much better than, say, like Gaethje, for example. But people who know what they're talking about says he is. I keep doubting Israel. I wasn't sure he beat Costa. I wasn't sure he beat Romero. I wasn't sure he beat Whitaker. But all the guys who know are like, he's going to whoop him. Anthony Johnson, this is just obvious to him. Anthony Johnson lost to Israel in training. And he's like, that guy just whooped up on me. He's like, he's good. He's very good striking. And he just beat him. Can he beat John Jones?
I don't think so, and I really want to see the fight.
I really want to see the fight. John Jones hasn't looked good in a long time, right? He's lost 2 fights recently that he somehow won on the scorecard. Dominic Reyes and who's the other one?
Blankovic or something? What, I don't know. That big Santiago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Or Tiago. I forget. Anyway, yeah.
Something like that.
That's
that
the
big
dude,
motherfucker.
The one
that's
that like
dark-skinned.
broke 2 ACLs during the fight and still won, in my opinion, 3 rounds. That guy and then Dominic Reyes both seemed to get.
I thought he lost to Reyes, but I thought the other fight was very close.
Okay. And then he beat the other guy, the white guy that almost lost to a home intruder. I forget his name too. But anyway, Jones has not looked like Prime Jones lately. Not in a while. And Israel is looking amazing, but I just think of him as smaller. Is he small? He's got to be small.
They're like the same height.
Okay.
Israel's lighter. Israel's like a good bit lighter.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like Chael Sonnen has this like brag that I think is cool. He's like, I can look at a guy and tell you how much he weighs. He's like, I'm really good. I don't mean to go too over the top on this, but I could work at a carnival. And I'm like, I like that. That's a funny brag. I'm not that guy, especially not on TV. Like, I don't look at Israel. Some people say Israel barely cuts to make 185.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard that he's walking around at like 186.
Then he stays thin all the time. Because he's
Whereas John Jones is walking around at like 225, something like that.
I think
like,
John Jones gets down to 225 and like cuts from there. I think. I bet he's 225 on fight night, and he hits
well,
like
doesn't he fights light heavyweight, right?
205. Yeah.
Yeah, 205.
Right. So on fight night would be a day after the weigh-ins.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying I think he walks around at like 225, like, and then he cuts down to 205.
I think he walks around between fights at like 235, 240.
Oh,
during
even
training camp hits 220 and then cuts the last 15 pounds of water.
So we're talking about somebody who's like 50 pounds heavier at the same height. And has spent a career fighting people at that weight and never losing ever.
But people think the style bender's magic. Danny, who do you have?
I haven't been keeping track of MMA in a long time. But yeah, it seems like Jones has a lot of mental issues. I don't know if you guys heard that during his meanest streak, when he was finishing everybody by spectacular KO or submission, he would get shit-faced the weekend before the fight because mentally he couldn't deal with the pressure. And if he got blacked out and he lost, he would have a mental out being like, oh, I was drunk last weekend. That's why I lost. And it seems like since his big layoff he had because of steroids, and then now with his lackluster performances, I think mentally he doesn't believe in himself as much as he used to. I don't think there's any coming back from it. I like this guy, Adesanya or whatever, the style bender. And I like him even more because my roommates were saying he's threatening to jizz all over some guy's manager.
Did you see after
Kyle,
he beat Paulo Costa, he butt fucked him in the ring?
He hooked him in the ass.
Yeah. A lot of guys have supported him. He's like, I think Anthony Rumble Johnson was like, dude, he talked all that smack leading up to the fight. All that fight. Paulo Costa was the first one to bring up Israel's family. He was the one that like crossed that line. So what? After you guys get into a fist fight, he rams his cock into your ass? Yeah, that's life in the big city.
And let me find this this come on the manager comment, because if it's true, then I think, Kyle, we might have a front runner for our celebrity endorsement.
Spokespeople.
Yeah,
that's good.
We should get USADA approved. Just be on the list of allowed supplements.
We will not be USADA improved. I will be adding a few extra ingredients.
Yeah.